Hey, it's the Core Gameplay. In this video I'm going to show you exactly how much I made with the Nomad. The Nomad is a good little ship for rock mining, and I thought maybe I should show you how much you can make with just a Nomad and a rock. Now you can also transport cargo with the Nomad, but I definitely think you will make more Alpha UEC with the Nomad mining than actually trading, so I decided to see how much I can make with using a rock and a Nomad. Now the rock does cost quite a lot to buy in-game, and yes, I did buy mine in-game. I'm not gonna spend real money on it, so I did buy mine in-game. I think it's about 172,000 just to own the rock, so it's not that much. You can probably grind for it a little bit. I just made my money with doing some missions, so that's how I gained my rock. I did fuel up my Nomad to make sure that I have a full tank of gas so that I can get the most out of my trip. I decided to go to aerial just so that I don't overheat. I went to its dark side, or maybe in between, since I know aerial is quite hot and I do have the armor that will reduce heat, so I was pretty good to go. The only thing that I didn't have was some water, some extra water, but I ended up not needing it since the fuel consumption of the Nomad is quite a lot at the moment, but I do know that they will fix it. Here I found my first pile of rocks and I got quite lucky. I got a lot of them in a big pile, so I was quite surprised that I found this good of a pile. Lucky for me, they were all Hodonite, I believe, and this is the most valuable resource for mining. Like I said, I'm not a miner to be exact, but I do like to know what's going on in the game, so I watch a lot of guides and usually I know what's good and what's not, since I want to keep up to date what's happening. So got into my rock. It was pretty okay. The first landing was pretty good since the cargo bay didn't knock my rock around. That's quite difficult to say, but it was pretty good the first run and the first stop. I think I ended up with a cargo hold of 33% here after mining everything, so it was a pretty good run. If I only found like 3 more, I would have filled up my cargo bay completely. But unfortunately, finding these piles of rocks isn't that easy. And then I decided to actually fill up my backpack, since I wanted to fill up my backpack for in case I 30k, then at least I will cover the fuel cost of the Nomad, so I won't make a loss. And I believe it's pretty good to do just to be safe. Maybe somebody tries to raid your rock at the back of the Nomad, since it's quite easy to get on the back of the Nomad. If I just jump from a ship onto the back, then I can basically take all of your resources. But at least this time around nobody tried to raid me or steal my mining resources that I mined. Just filling up my backpack to make sure that I'm safe from a 30k. I managed to get the rock back inside of the Nomad, and I believe it was successful. The ramp didn't glitch out at this moment, but in the future of this video you'll see that the rock can be pretty glitchy in the back of the Nomad, and it can be quite scary. Got into my little ship again to find some more minables. Here I got 2 nodes, and I've been searching quite a while since it's pretty difficult to find minables with the Nomad. I don't know if it's the scanner or if it's just the Nomad, but my rock did decide to do a backflip when I opened the ramp. I actually thought it was going to explode here, but fortunately it didn't, and I could continue with mining. The mining arm is also bugged there. It's shot up into the air. Maybe they should fix that, or at least try to. I don't know why it does that, but it does do it. Usually you can fix it by just activating it and deactivating it, the mining mode and you should be good to go. I found another hardenite pile here, so I was quite happy, even though I searched quite a long while for it. I don't know how much my fuel here is at the moment, but I'm pretty sure it's about 50% now, since the Nomad does drink a lot of fuel or consumes a lot of fuel. But it was a successful mining run, even though my rock did decide to flip when I take it down. Just carefully driving it up. Usually you'll get used to driving it backwards. It's not that difficult. Just take it slow and you should be able to do it. Usually I turn off my rock completely just to be sure it doesn't move at the back, but even with doing that, it doesn't help much. Now you can see my rock actually bugged out. It went sideways and it was quite difficult to get it out. I was probably taking 5 minutes just to maneuver it to get back out, but I did cut it out so that we can save some time. And I did find some minables here as well, and it was successful. Didn't blow up, did mine them, and it was, I think it's my last one that I did, my last batch, since my fuel consumption was basically at 25% at this moment, and I decided to return to the station. Just use the station since it is easier for me to fuel up and return, even though you can't refuel your ship if you have a rock at the back. But I successfully made it, so it was quite a successful run for me. So let's take a look at how much I earned for this little trip. Even though I'm a noob, I did earn something, so let's see how much I have made. So let's take a look at the rock first. I do have some dollarvine that I accidentally mined, but my first one was about 80,000 roundabout. I'll have the correct number at the end so you can see how much you can actually make if you're just a beginner mining with the Nomad. So I made a pretty penny there. It definitely covers the cost of the thing. The dollarvine, not so good. It was just 5,200, so it was okay, but nothing special. I definitely wouldn't mine it since it does consume your cargo capacity, but if you're mining with the Nomad, your fuel is probably going to be gone before you make anything. In my personal inventory, I made about 30k, so it was pretty good as well. It's definitely more than 100k than I made, so it was pretty good for me. This was a pretty fun trip and a learning experience for me since I'm brand new. Let me know in the comments how much you make with mining with the rock. It would be pretty interesting to know how much you make in total. So in total I made about 114,000 alpha UEC. So I hope you enjoyed this little video just summarizing how much I made on my first mining trip with the Nomad. If you did, please give this video a like, and if you want to see more videos like this, then you can subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video.